Just a quick mention, I do want to apologize. My mic audio in the video is rather iffy. So unfortunately my mic was a little unplugged, so the audio quality is a little lackluster, but the hype was too good to try to re-record, so do forgive me, it shouldn't happen in next week's video. Oh my, Rio went from a angry lion to a scared kitten real quick when Nagi snapped back. I love how this show continues to say, listen, power of friendship just doesn't exist here. At first, Nagi's trying to be a nice guy, trying to say, hey, you're talented, you got this, you'll bounce back up, chin up, you're okay. And as soon as he starts crying about the breakup again, he literally just says, I'm over you. Like, either pick yourself back up, come back swinging, grow a pair, or you gonna be eliminated. You think I'm the one who's lost the plot? You're the one. And just leaves him, taking Sonic the Hedgehog Chicory to their team to make for a new chemical reaction that hopefully will be the difference between losing to Rin's team and winning. And honestly, only time will tell. My boy Isagi pulled up at the end of this episode with that big D energy, says, let's do round 2. And honestly, Bachira's smile said it all. Next match is going to be heat. Now, before we jump any further, gotta make a mention, we got that full live reaction over on my Patreon, so if you want to see my full thoughts to today's wonderful Blue Lock episode, head on over there and consider supporting, because Blue Lock still is my favorite show to watch each week, especially when it comes to reaction format. So this episode was a surprising, calm episode. It kind of debriefs, it kind of lets the characters get connected with the new formula, the new formation, Barrow being the king, and we got Princess Chigiri, and just the messiness of the room, it is a chaotic mess. But luckily, when we break the team up into twos, Barrow and Isagi are actually pretty close these days, a lot better than I thought they ever would be, and when it comes to Nagi and Chigiri, they're doing rather well themselves as well. But I like the fact that, while getting connected with this new formation, they also redirect our focus back to the entire goal for someone like Isagi, and that is to get our boy back on our team. Now, here's the thing, right? We get a lot of flashbacks, especially when it comes to characters almost getting eliminated, but I like the fact that rather than it being used to say, oh, he's gonna get eliminated next episode, no, instead they're saying, let's get us on board with why he's so connected to our boy, because in a lot of ways, when we look at the beginning of the Blue Lock experience, removing our focus as Isagi is the protagonist in a manga and an anime, we could look at and say, why wasn't he more focused on the Barrows or the Rins of this tournament? Why was he so after this monster that apparently only him and Isagi could see? And I love the fact that we really get to see that from such a young age, he had that talent. And I love how they use the almost concept of imaginary friends in terms of that was kind of his imaginary friend. And his mom would just keep saying, someday you'll find the person who plays the game just like you and you'll be connected. But as we see, at such a young age, it was basically like a pro playing with children, and very quickly he was isolated, he just felt alone. And to see the kind of like the wave of sadness, the monster goes from like an imaginary friend who may be a little creepy, but seemingly had his back, to almost like a wave coming crashing in to pull him into despair. And I love how Blue Lock does something I feel like a lot of sports anime, or hell, even just like battle shonens could learn from. So they refresh and they recap the first episode when our boy comes in, and rather than getting the cheap shot to keep himself in, Isagi goes after the toughest looking player. And I love how, rather than just showing it exactly as it was in the first episode, we actually get to see things from his perspective alongside it, and it makes that entire scene even better than the first time we experienced it. It didn't feel like one of those things where we're just copy and pasting the last 5 minutes of episode 1. Instead, the different perspectives mixed in with the backstory and what they were explaining really made it feel like we understand what made them have such a close-knit friendship there. And to kind of piggyback off that, to then showing how distant he feels to his new team, but it almost felt like, to me, what they were trying to do was saying, hey, instead of letting him feel like, oh, our boy's about to say, you know what, maybe Rin's his own type of monster, maybe I can follow him, maybe learn and kind of branch out and feel more like an individual, I wasn't expecting our boy to be behind those doors saying, hey, let's go, round 2, baby. And instead, it kind of feels like now it's up in the air of what's going to happen. So we just come off of a big W for Isagi's team. But he can lose, he can win. I don't know where they go next. I really don't. We haven't seen how this team is going to work now that we added Chigiri to the mix. And the fact that it could be anyone's game right now is very exciting, if not worrisome. Because if we go the direction of them winning, are they really going to allow Isagi to say, this is the person we need on our team? Is Barrow going to be like, yo, like, we kind of went with you last time, but Rin is literally the best, we should probably take him? Or is Barrow going to be like, you know what, I don't want to lose my thunder? So it's a whole thing up in the air. Even if they win, are we really going to get our boy back? Is Isagi going to put his foot down and say, this is how it's going to be? Something even worse happens. What if they lose? Who are they going to pick? Are they going to pick Barrow? Are they going to say, actually, Isagi popped off again? Maybe he's actually valued. I don't know. All I know is that once you get comfortable, and once you think the teams are finally at a place where they're unstoppable, the next selection comes around and things change again, or they lose and they lose a valuable member and it's like, oh man, are they gonna even survive this? It really feels uncertain, but the one thing that is certain is that each match has gotten progressively more exciting, more insane, and honestly, I doubt that tradition's gonna change anytime soon. All throughout watching the previous match, I had people just constantly say, yeah, as much as I love this match, the next one coming up is my personal favorite. And honestly, that's basically how I've been. I said, man, there's no way we're topping this one. Next match would come in and they top it. So I suspect that even if you find a match that you say is your personal favorite, it doesn't seem like the quality ever dips, because we're constantly challenging these characters, right? Rather than just saying everyone holds hands, they make the teamwork, the dream work. No, they say, hey, you can look at Barrow and Isagi. He comes off of that match saying, don't call me the donkey, don't insult me, but pretty much everything else you said about me was true and I needed a wake-up call. You can see how the idea of teamwork can either break them and then let them rebuild, as in the case of Barrow, or you have other characters who will just end up getting eliminated or potentially move to a different team. And the way the characters adjust and evolve, that's what separates the up-and-coming strikers to those who are going to be left in the dust. And that's why I've always said Isagi has the most potential. He is the one who can adapt the best, he's the one who can devour the best, but as an individual from the very beginning even to right now, is he the overall most talented? No, but he has the potential to be so. And it'll be very interesting to see how long it will take before everyone in this show, or a majority, will look at him the same way a majority look at Barrow or even Rin, saying, that's the boy you want to pick. And if you had all three on a team, honestly, if we could get to a point where people would struggle to pick between the three, you'd feel like a proud dad moment, being like, that's my boy, look at how far he came from episode 1 now all the way to episode whatever, right? I mean, for an episode that could have easily been chill, slice of life, just de-stressing and immediately jumping into the next match, instead they took their time, showed us the new cast dynamic, really gave us some great backstory, and whatever happens in this next match is going to happen. I mean, Rin could be the spiciest mofo saying, I don't want to challenge weak people again. Or maybe he'll say, I don't care who I challenge because I'm going to win no matter what. We don't know what's happening next. All I know is that I would be shocked if I don't come out of this next match saying that was the best Blue Lock match to date. Because so far, that's every match for me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But thoughts and feelings yourself, though, down below. Theories and speculations, of course, if you got any, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell so you can get notified as much as possible when I upload on the channel, and of course, as I mentioned, we got that full live reaction available on my Patreon, and while you're there, you can also get yourself a video shoutout. So today, we got Daniel Darby, Danny0018, and Darian Smith, so I appreciate the support. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.